Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I am opening this lovely box of 2024 Dissidia collector set for the Final Fantasy trading card game. This thing came out 2 weeks ago as of this recording. Between PAX and Continentals I've been busy, so I haven't had my chance to open this, but we will be doing it today. So let me just put this to the side because I don't know how YouTube and Twitch will like me cutting stuff with a knife. I will pronounce it that way. Maybe dodges algorithms. And at the end of today, or end of this stream, we will be getting a spoiler. But knowing my spoilers, you guys know it's going to be a fun, janky common. So as always, we got the starter instruction booklet, which is actually not too bad. Wow, for once the brightness is actually against me. I think it's... Is it 2 of them? Or... Okay, and this is the deck information, I believe. Yeah, this is the deck information. So deck A, deck B. We're not going to go into this. If you guys buy the product, you'll be able to choose what deck you enjoy, what side of it you like. I do like that this box is pretty, like, oversized for what's in it. So if you ever want more stuff, you can. You know what? Let's start off with this one. Does this have this? It does. It does. Perfect. Rip tabs. Rip tabs are the lifeblood. Alright. So first things first, we have our Light Bart. Full art. Wanderer Warrior of Light. When Bart enters the field, you may search for one category DFF character other than light or dark and add it to your hand. Gain a crystal. That's actually pretty decent. I don't mind that. Remove Barts in the break zone from the game. Gain a crystal. You can use this ability to control 2 or more category DFF forwards, and Barts is in your break zone. Alright, so it seems fine. You get 1 full art and 2 normal. That's pretty good. This game does tend to try and give you your entire playsets together, which is really amazing. I'm assuming this is one of the decks. So we got a Cosmos reprint. Not bad, but you do get a playset of these, I believe, in the anniversary pack, which is really good. Our next starter is 4-cost Onion Knight, haste 8k. When Onion Knight enters the field, you may pay 2 crystal. When you do so, search for one DFF forward of 3 cost or less, play it onto the field. Alright, so we're seeing a lot of really cool crystal synergy, and considering the new Cyan we saw, this might be actually legit. Once again, I assume, yep, we got our 3 of those. We got another Cloud, so this is another 21 set Cloud. 5-cost EX, you can pay 2 crystal instead of paying the CP cost to cast Cloud. When Cloud enters the field, you may choose one forward, deal it 3k damage for each DFF forward you control. Alright, so we're starting to see like full DFF, Dissidia, obviously, that's the mechanic. We got Firion. When Firion enters the field, you may choose one forward, deal it 3k damage. If you control 2 or more category DFF forwards, deal it 7k damage instead. When a character opponent controls is put from the field into the break zone, gain a crystal. This effect will trigger only once per turn. Alright. This one looks interesting. I still don't know about this one. This one I feel is probably the weakest we've read so far, because it has a lot of the more difficult conditions to meet. We got a Cyan reprint, but which was also a promo reprint, which is good, but Cyan's really good if Samurai's ever cycles back. Got the Samurai backups. Okay, so this looks like it's sort of a Samurai deck then, I'm guessing. So it's going just for that damage effects. But I have a feeling if you're going to go for the damage effects with Cyan, you just commit to the Samurai build. So we got 3 Cyan, 3 of the common Samurai, 3 of the Crystal Samurai, 2 Edgars, and 3 Bahamuts. And then we move into the ice. So putting the reprints aside, because we're just wanting to look at the new stuff. So we got another Shantotto. 5-cost Shantotto, 9k forward. When Shantotto enters the field, you may pay 2 crystal. When you do so, choose one category DFF forward of cost 5 or less in your break zone. Play it onto the field. Choose up to 3 characters, dull and freeze them for a special, which is Salvation Scythe. So you're paying 5 and 2 crystals to get 10 value. Sounds good on paper, but I guess I want to see what the rest of the ice is in this. Maybe they're trying to push Ice towards the DFF and Crystal Shell, which is not bad, considering Ice has been sort of in the not love stages of our game. So actually, I'll take that away as well. But yeah, so we got 3 fire cards, 1 light card so far. And that was our first of the ice of this deck. So this deck does come with 2 decks, it looks like. And you can modify them and change them up. So we got ourselves a new Terra, which is both DFF and 6, which is really good, if this is a good Terra. I don't know if it replaces the backup Terra, but we'll see. 3 cost, forward 7k. When Terra enters field, your opponent discards 1 card. If you control 2 or more category DFF forwards, also get a crystal. Crystal dull, choose 1 forward dull and freeze it. So, don't think this goes into the 6 deck, but I really like this effect. Yeah, fire crystals with ice might be pretty good if it gets enough support. Of course, we got our 3. This game gives you play sets of stuff in its product, which is really cool. Next one is Noctis. You control category DFF forward, cast Noctis, EX Burst. When Noctis enters field, choose 1 dull forward opponent controls, break it. So, yeah, it's very powerful, but you need a DFF out. It is forward, so I don't know how I feel about this. Again, it's a really powerful card on a very, very restriction, I guess, and that's kind of the point. If this said character, it might be feasible if there was enough DFF backups, but I don't know how useful this is in a deck unless you are going full DFF. The other thing is, at least the EX bursts would work, so you do get the EX burst when this is hit, because you, obviously, EX burst, you replace the condition. Come on, camera. So I'm just saying this now because I don't think I've stated it on any of my streams. The way it usually works when I do this. There we go. The way EX burst works is when you replace the condition, so this is when Noctis enters the field, that becomes EX burst, and then you do the line of text. And I assume 3 of. Perfect. And then we're back to reprints. So the reprints are Common Laguna. Of course, Knight for Crystal Generation. Devout for Crystal Generation Discard. Kate Sith reprint starter. That's actually pretty good. I think this is needed in a few ice decks. It's seeing a lot of play. So reprinting this, please tell me they gave you 3. They only give 2. Not better than nothing, so I will take it. That's actually not a bad reprint in this. Yeah, a starter, hard to get. People are playing it in ice, so I think this is probably the best of the reprints we've seen. And just, again, because it's a starter alone. But yeah, 3 ice, 3 fire, 1 light. Now, I assume this half of the shell is to swap it over. So, I'm going to try and cut it up in colors. So, let's put those there, because I'm assuming the first pile is going to be the wind shell. I had a question about someone asking what's the best color combination. Without seeing much of the backup line, you could probably pull off DFF Wall 4 colors. I do want to see what the earth side in this pack is. But since all of these don't really seem to rely on backups, I think that either makes it very versatile, but also really bad, because you also want backups that feed into the tribal you're doing, whether that is tribal job or tribal category. Right, there we go. So this is 2 cost Warrior of Light, forward 5k. When Warrior of Light or a category DFF forward enters the field, gain a crystal. This effect will only trigger once per turn. Hello, Blood Red Ruby, how are you doing? I don't know how I feel about this. So, the issue with this first line I can see is this means that every time you play a category, you're creating a stack. Sometimes you don't want that. The fact that this game goes forwards enter, unless they have an ETB, they don't use the stack, your opponent does not get priority, you can go bang, 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 and then do your stuff, is very crucial. This basically says you get an advantage when you cast the DFF, but you're also giving your opponent an opening in priority. And I think that might be bad. I'm not sure. Please leave in the comments what you think about that. That's the worry I have reading that top ability. I could absolutely be wrong here, but that is my thought process. Then it has an activate ability, pay a crystal until end of turn. Warrior Light gets plus 1k power, and Warrior Light cannot be chosen by opponent's abilities. That's pretty good. Crystal synergy, that's really awesome to see. I'm going to just chuck those there because it makes space. We got a new Cecil as well. 4 cost. It is a paladin, so searchable by the Earth one. Cecil cannot be chosen by opponent's abilities. If Cecil is dealt damage by opponent's abilities, that damage becomes 0 instead. Category DFF forwards other than Cecil can control get plus 2k power. This could be really good as an ambush with Earth Cecil. If you're in the DFF with Earth, they go to kill something else. You flicker this in, pump it, or you attack into something, block, sack, pump it. That's pretty good ambush. The category DFF, yeah. And the special is Paladin Force, pay S and Earth. Choose one forward of cost 4 or more, break it. So if you're playing mono Cecils, you now have a Cecil with a special that is not the worst thing to search. I still think the other wind one, is the better one, but this is not a bad ambush, and then with an S ability could be very useful. I rate it, and once again, it has both categories, so it counts towards both. We have a new Titus. Titus EX 5k forward 9k. When Titus enters field, choose one forward opponent controls, return it to its owner's hand. When a forward opponent controls is returned from the field to its owner's hand, draw a card and gain a crystal. This effect will trigger once per turn. It's not as good as Bismarck, but it can help Bismarck, but it is another 5 cost. But if you're playing Wind and untapping everything, this might not be the worst. Getting a 2-card draw and a crystal with both this and Bismarck on a bounce, while it itself does a bounce. This actually might be pretty good. I don't know how it fits. I don't know how... Because Mono Wind is a very, very slim deck. It is very tight, very specific. You need these pieces, these pieces, these pieces. It can be very hard to add in an extra thing. So unless this Titus really does a lot of extra work, and with the fact that the Yuffie that has haste and gets bigger and untaps is in the meta, having a third 5k slot might actually be terrible. But the fact that this does wind stuff with crystals, maybe there is a wind crystal storm deck that could use this. That is to be seen. So we got a starter Kane reprint, but I don't think this Kane has seen much love for a while. Having a starter is still good for players who missed out on those starter decks. The Dragoons, of course, with the Crystal Generation. Selkie, which is decent. Y'shtola. Is this? Yeah, this is a reprint Y'shtola. So again, another good starter. It helps new players who missed on those decks. Only what? Wait. Selkie. Oh, they got switched around, but only 2. Yep, 2 Y'shtolas, 3 Canes, but I guess the Cane has the special. And Alexanders are good. These are good Alexanders, so having them is pretty decent. Alright, so not bad for the Wind. Ice, I still think has the best. I think Kate Sith or Kate Shi has been the better one. So Fire, reprint Terrors. It was a promo, but it is getting scarce now. 3 of them, very good. Alright, this is good as well. Another good starter reprint. This Onion Knight, Ifrits. These are fillers. I love Legend Squall. Alright. 2 of the Legend Squall. I rate this card, but Squall has had so many more powerful versions. This one sort of has taken a back burner. The Fire one, the Fire one is just the best right now. Getting a Legend is still good if you're a new player and you didn't get access to these, but if I remember correctly, I think this was a box topper as well. So in terms of getting something hard to get and rare, not the best Legend. Like, at this point, because it's a box topper and because of the strength of the card, maybe not. Snow from set 15. I do like these Shivas, but set 15, easy to get. Okay, this one's not bad. So 2 Legend, the Winzidane with the Errata, which is really good to see. I'll let it zoom in, because I do want to explain the Errata on this one. So Zidane cannot be chosen by opponent's abilities. When your opponent discards a card due to summons or abilities, choose one wind character. So in the original text, this did not say wind, this said character. That was immediately repaired at release. But all the originals of this have the wrong wording. This thing is pretty interesting, but Wind has not needed it for a while, so Good to have a card with the correct wording in rotation, but again, not a legend I would rate. I still think the Terrors and the Kusith starters are probably better than this and the Squall in the ice slot. Vaughn, set 10. Gara Chimera, set 15 common. Normal crystals. These only came in foil. That's good. That's really cool. They have the CC, so they're not reprints of the board game one, because I have the board game one, which has a bunch of these, so I can actually get these. But that's pretty cool. I like that. I'll put that here, because that is a unique thing. We got something new. So this isn't a starter, but it has H, not S. But 21. All right. So this is a really cool Y'shtola. I think this is probably the prize of the box. If your opponent has 2 cards or less in their hand, Y'shtola gains haste. So 4 cost AK haste if you've drained their hand. When Y'shtola attacks, choose one forward opponent controls, deal at 9k damage, -1 for each card in their hand. So we've got another hand reward for hand punishing. The thing Ice has a lot of problems with is discards, does all the triggers, then your opponent stops keeping cards in their hand to stop you getting advantage, and you lose your gas once your opponent stops playing your game. So you want a lot of cards that then go, cool, here's the reward for hand sculpting. Here's the benefit for your opponent having low cards in hand. Right now, what we really have is Physalis, the big 5 cost, Lightning, technically Fire Squall if you're running Fire deck. Now we have this, so having more of the Punisher ones, or the finishers after you've done your job, is really good. I believe this is one... So it's only one full art, it looks like. We got a bunch of full arts after that. Alright. So this is just the one foil from the set. I think this is just a normal set foil. It doesn't even look like it's a promo. So I don't know about that, but you get a foil card from the next set. But if the foils in that set are just like this, then this card is... meh. I did not realize it wasn't a starter. I thought this was like a starter exclusive like the Barts. But that's still pretty cool to have. Now, these are the full arts. These are the pretty stuff you get the box for. So you get your 1 Warrior of Light. Firion, which is really good. Really strong in the Warrior deck, and he's played in Knights. If Waterfire comes back, Firion usually takes the slot. Onion Knight. The Onion Knight deck comes in and out, so this one's pretty meh. Cecil is fantastic. This is a very good card, very strong card. Was in the top cut of the recent Australia Continentals. But this was also a really good deck back in the day when it came out in 12. This deck might see some recursion, so having this is fantastic. Ice Terror is also very good. It tends to go in a very control-y ice deck, so that's also a strong card. Popular Cloud, just... let's be honest, this isn't a really good card. It hasn't seen play for a while, but everyone loves the art, and this was the art on the major events winning circuit. Squall is fantastic. This Squall is very good. Magissa utilizes this. A lot of aggro decks utilize this. Blue Bears utilizes this. I'll actually go into this Squall if I can zoom in, because I do want to go through how good this card is. There we go. So... 3 cost, that's why it works with Magissa. Haste, forward, 6k. When Squall enters the field or attacks, choose one forward, gains 2k power at end of turn, so you turn your small stuff into big stuff that can push through. On damage 3, when Squall attacks, choose one forward, it gains this forward, cannot block until the end of turn. So it comes in, pumps something or itself, attacks, pumps something or itself. If you're on damage 3, stop a blocker. So it's an extra attacker, an extra blocker, and it gives you the ability to push with your small stuff. Fantastic card, I'm glad this is in this. Zidane, also another amazing card, really powerful. The new set brings in a lot of cards that work with this. This is a really good card to get. Having the full art is obviously amazing. But yeah, this one has haste, 7k, cannot be blocked by forwards of cost 3 or more, so it's fairly unblockable. When it enters their attacks, you get a card out of your opponent's hand. They do draw, but you exile a card of your choice. Fantastic card, really good. Titus, another really good one, seen in a lot of water decks. It has been pushed to the side due to monsters, but I like the idea of running this in a monster deck because even though it's a forward, it's unblockable. You go ping, 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 they have to deal with your monsters. If not, deal with this. If they can't deal with this, gets in lethal because it's unblockable. And if it is targeted, it draws you cards and kills something, so I'll go through that. When Titus is put from field into owner's deck, draw 3 cards. When Titus is chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, you may put Titus to the bottom of your owner's deck. When you do so, you choose one forward opponent controls, put it at the bottom of its owner's deck as well. So, really good Titus, really good card. Ice Shantotto, very, very good. Too bad it's a Shantotto and clashes with the backup. But essentially it costs 3 less if your opponent has 1 or less cards in hand. When it enters, you may get a character, You get a character from your bin back to your hand. Any character doesn't have to be ice, so works with multicolor. It has not a special, but a unique ability. You can only use this ability if it's in your hand. You may pay a ice, a generic, and a crystal. Remove this from your hand into the break zone and dull all forwards opponent controls. So if you have a crystal and enough resource, this basically becomes a temporary board wipe. You push in for your final point of damage, and you can use this ability anytime, even on your opponent's turn. Varn, this is a really popular Varn because he did a lot of work back for Sky Pirates. Sky Pirates comes in and out like Samurais, so I do think this is a good card to have as well. So it looks like this deck seems to have decent DFF stuff. Not so great on the reprints, but then just comes with a pack of really good one-off full arts. So getting these into rotation is really good. Most big players, if they buy multiples of these, will keep only one of these in spares, so new players will be able to trade for them, which is fantastic. I won't go into the Varn because it's not big. Popular Lightning card. Can be good, can be bad, comes in and out. Very finicky card, but still very strong. The issue is 7 is very, very hard to work with. But again, everyone loves this art. It's just a popular card, so having it in full art is amazing for just collecting. You do get a second of the Y'shtola, so you get 1 foil, 1 full art. Okay, that's pretty good. We already went through that. Noctis. There are better Noctises now, especially the new one. Still a good full art, but probably not the best in the list. Ramza would rate the same. AC's a bit of play because of its strength. Exiling bin can be dangerous, but when you're in a format right now where your opponent exiles your bin for you, you go, you know what, these cards are going anyway, they are an extra resource. If my opponent's going to abuse them, I might as well use them. I did not mean that to rhyme. No one clipped that. It's 1 cost, 9k. When it attacks, does 10k damage. Giving this haste is amazing. You've got Belies, which does a lot of hasting stuff. You got a lot of haste in fire, and again, working with a lot of the extra damaging pings and samurai damaging pings. That is very good. So, not a bad cycle. Like, maybe 50% of these are on the very high, really cool end. Like, I'd rate Inferion, Cecil, Bart, Terra. People are going to hate me for doing this. Squall, Zidane, Titus, Shantotto, the Varn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so about 60%. I should not have that timer on there, but anyways, full art slots are really good. Those are going, into my promo collector folder. These are fantastic. I don't mind them. I'd like to get more information on this. I didn't do any research. I wanted to open this thing blind. I tend not to look at spoilers, despite the fact that I'm about to do one in a couple of minutes. I still like the card. Full art is fantastic. If this is just a normal foil that you're going to get in the set, then I think... I'm sorry. Square Enix, God or Goddess or whatever. I think you could have maybe made this a starter. Make this an S. This should have been an S. 2 normal, 1 of the full art. Go for the full cycle. But yeah, some interesting stuff. These are going to collector as well. These are going into the binders with their normal stuff. I do find this really annoying because I hate having mismatched sets. So I'm probably going to try and get a normal Barts to match that. Blah! Words. I apologize. Alright. I think I've said enough about this. I'll put those separate. Pack this up. And despite the fact that this box does look like the collector set, I don't think it was specifically meant to be part of that same line. We are getting the we're getting the 2nd anniversary box set next February. Don't quote me, I am going off the top of my head for that. Did I put those? Yep, those are in right. Alright. So, everyone in here is just wanting to see this new card. I'm gonna just quickly analyze it. Turn off the webcam because I don't think you guys want to see that anymore. Ignore the background layout. Just ignore it. Alright, so for my spoiler, and on par with getting all the weird commons, I've got this bomb shell. It's a bomb. It's bomb. It's bomb. I love it, but it's bomb, and it's mine. So, 1 cost bomb. Monster. Strangers of Paradise. Pay a red, dull, put bomb into the break zone, choose one forward, deal it 4k damage, then search for a card named bomb, play it onto the field. Alright, so, honestly, this is strictly a worse Goblin. Goblin is a 1 cost that lets you search for another one, but for 1 extra, you get 1 extra damage and you get to search the other one for free. So, it's slower, it costs more, but I think that extra 1k is relevant, because this now feeds Magissa, which, I love it! We're feeding Magissa! So you essentially can go on your opponent's turn, your turn, play the bomb, pass turn, on your opponent's turn, use the bomb, hit Magissa, search for another bomb, trigger Magissa, do what you want to do, your turn, do it again with the second one. I actually like this. I think this is actually really good. I think this works alongside Goblin. I still think Goblin probably is the better version. But I also think that someone can utilize this card to make it just as good, if not better, in certain decks. Goblin obviously doesn't see play in Magissa because it's 1k too short. Fire is doing all these ping damages. That could be really good. But I think this will probably see most of its play in Magissa. Again, if there is a fire monster deck that starts utilizing ping damages, this will work alongside all the other ones. You know, you've got Jin, which turns this into a 5k damage, No, Jin won't work on this. I can't remember the wording of Jin, but I think because this is break zone, Jin and stuff like Jin won't work. I need to look. I can't remember if it's Iroha or Jin that won't work with this, because I believe those are 2 different wordings. But I like this, and I'm glad I got this. I was really happy. I like getting the snipe unusual common cards. I had Orc and the Snow, the hybrid Snow, which I still thought were pretty cool. But I think this is an amazing card, and I'm really glad I got it, and I hope you guys enjoy my 21 spoiler. I will be chucking this up on all the relevant channels, and if the rest of you can spread them to the others, please do. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This will be going up on YouTube soon, but obviously I will spam the bomb everywhere. But if people want to watch the video and enjoy just watching me evaluate some cards, I tend to look at cards from more of a having a fun deck, but I will be honest if a card is not up to snuff. But otherwise, thank you guys for joining me. Have a good day. Have a good night if you're still here in Oz. Take care, have a good time zone, and see you on the next one. Bye.